Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your Spring Equinox reading. We're doing something a little bit different. I haven't done this before. We are going to take 3 different cards and I'm going to go over 3 different readings with you for each of the months of spring. This card is going to be May to June. March to April. This card will be April to May. And this card will be May, taking us up to the summer solstice. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what your cards are. Okay, higher ground, healing, and witch's brew. Seek alternative solutions. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with higher ground. And I'm going to grab these cards. So as I'm sitting here, the first words that came to mind were perspective. Something about taking a broader view of a situation or a problem. Okay, guys, what's coming up for Capricorn for March to April? Okay, what do we have? Dragon's pet, communication between species, animals, pets, magical companions, guardianship. Okay. Okay, what else is coming up for Capricorn for March to April? Child of the moon. Okay, this one fell out. Beauty, physical pleasure, sensuality. Let's do one more card. If I can grab it. 15. Okay. Stop moving. Okay. What I'm feeling here is you're tired. You've been through some stuff recently. You've maybe encountered some very difficult people, maybe a very difficult situation. And I'm just feeling tired. You've had emotions running high. And it's time for you to take a step back from all of that. It's time for you to spend time with the companion of animals. It's time for you to delve into taking care of you, feeling once again. It feels like your emotions have been so high for so long. You're just, like I said, you're just really tired. You're exhausted. Your emotions are almost just kind of bare, like nerve endings kind of. And you need to rise above, like I had just said, need to rise above. And this is transcending the ego. It's rising above the ego. It's rising above your expectations for yourself. That's what they're telling me is expectations. You had these expectations for yourself, maybe of other people, and they're not aligning with the situation, or your expectations have been like disappointed, let down. And you're so tired from it all that you need to take a step back. You need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive others if possible. I know sometimes forgiving others is really a difficult thing to accomplish. But at least try to forgive yourself, maybe for how you reacted, maybe how you didn't react. Maybe you had expectations for how you were supposed to act or treat others or walk through a situation, and you didn't do that. But what they're telling me is that you followed your intuition, which is exactly what you needed to do. And although it's not what you expected, you were following your higher self. and that was the right thing to do. So you do need to forgive yourself right now. It's really interesting because we have these clouds right here and these clouds right here. We have this moon, and this almost looks like a moon. And I'm sitting here, and there's a link there, and I'm trying to figure it out, but it's not quite there yet. But it is, I do see this similarity between this card. You have the spider web down here, and you have this spider web up here. It's almost like a pink color, and it's kind of magic. You also have this circle while she's holding the moon. There's another link right there, and this is telling me that you really create your own magic. Okay, spiders spin their own webs. Spiders create their life. And so it's time for you to take a step back over this 3-month period. It's time to take a step back and figure out where you want your life to go, what you want to create for yourself. Because we're coming up to the next eclipse in eclipse season, the final eclipse at the end of March. And in that time, there's a lot of releasing happening. There's a lot of letting go of relationships, of people, of situations, things that we need to let go of for our highest good. And you're going through that situation. And as we go through the rest of spring, I've been feeling for quite a few of the readings that summer is going to be go time. You know, summer's more masculine energy, and more masculine energy tends to be more active energy instead of a more passive energy like a feminine energy. And so this masculine energy that's coming over the summer is, I keep saying go time. I keep hearing go time, sorry. And so things are going to get active, things are going to get busy, and your manifestations, whatever you've been manifesting for yourself over the spring, any seeds that you've been planting are really going to get going. And so over the next 3 months, take time out to really delve into things that you love doing. Let yourself rest, let yourself relax. Take a higher view, a higher perspective of your life, and say, you know, if you were seeing your life from a much higher perspective, from like an outside source, from your higher self, if you were seeing yourself from that angle, what would you want to see? Instead of focusing on all the little nitty-gritty things that we prioritize, you know, like our kids' schedules or exactly how much money we want to make or anything like that, you know, needing to pay the bills, needing to do this, needing to, you know, spend time with friends or even people that we don't really care about. Instead of prioritizing all those little things, what is the most important to us? Is it spending time with family? Is it traveling? Is it having time, you know, for spiritual stuff? What are your priorities? And that's what it's asking you to do, at least for the next month or over the course of the 3 months. But at least right now, for the next month, March to April, you're being asked to rest and focus on yourself. Focus what's inside of you. Yeah, this sensuality card sometimes can represent sex, but a lot of times it represents experiencing life, the sensual things of life, like taste, touch, smell, even your intuition, really meshing with your environment and the things around you. It's about really going deep and experiencing life and all of its pleasures. And so you're being asked to focus on these, delving into life more deeply and your desires and your passions, what you love, what you want to create for yourself. Okay, let's move on. If there's anything more for this month, I will keep watching on it. That's still not, I'm still not getting that, but that's okay. We'll move on. I don't want to waste time. Okay, so April to May, healing, personal healing. Okay, Capricorn and April to May. Okay, strength. Breach. Celebration. Let's do one more. Ceremony. Okay. It feels like what you've been through, what you've been dealing with, what they're saying has given you strength. Things are not quite aligned, but they're coming back into alignment. Okay. Whatever you have been dealing with, what I was talking about over here, the people or the situation, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a relationship, more strength from you is called for. This is as you're starting to get in touch with yourself over here. It doesn't feel like the situation is quite resolved yet. This invocation, this ceremony card, they're telling me it kind of ceremoniously needs to be released. Okay. You're going through a process. It's like this phase. You see the phases of the moon up here. And there's going to be times where you need strength, but there's also times where you're going to want to celebrate. And what they're telling me is that the healing process is not linear. The healing process is cyclical. So there's going to be times where you feel upside down, where you feel like you're bombarded. They're using the word bombarded by emotions or stress or questions. There's going to be other times where you're just going to want to celebrate and you're going to be happy. And it's to keep helping you release the emotions. So do what you feel. Follow your intuition in April, May. Over the course of that time frame, follow what feels right to you, because it's a process of healing. And so you're working through these emotions, you're releasing the emotions. So whatever feels right for you. The snake is always a representation of change. And so you're going through a lot of changes, and that's okay. You're discovering who you are at a soul level. And so it's really, really a beautiful process, but try not to get sucked into the negative mental cycles. Don't block your emotions, they're saying. Don't let your emotions cause you to go cold inside the pain. If there's any kind of pain or hurt that you're feeling from what situation has been going on, what situation we already talked about, don't let yourself close down. You need to allow yourself to keep flowing through your emotions, to keep the cycle going, because it's healthy, and it's going to help you release the emotions, working through them instead of just closing yourself off. And so allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to go through the ups and downs. It's completely natural and okay. It's the cycles, because you're growing, you're healing. And as you work through any emotions that come up and releasing them, you're going to keep your health in check. Okay, when we shove down our emotions, the emotions are still there. The pain, the hurt are still in our bodies. And when they're still in our bodies, that creates problems, like actual physical problems down the line. And you don't want that. So nurture your feelings, nurture your emotions. And it'll keep cycling through, but things are going to get to a place where you're able to release. See, I love this one. It's kind of all this. Sometimes it's meant to be downloads, but today it's kind of like a release. They're showing me a release of energy. Ask for your guides. Ask for help from your guides as much as you need. They're there for you. Okay. Let's move on to May, June. Okay, what's coming up for Capricorn in May and June? Okay. Feeling the world. Okay, as I told you, I was going to keep looking at this. What they're telling me is this moon that I keep saying is the eclipse. The eclipse is bringing something. So I believe it's March 28th, 29th. So pay attention to March 28th, 29th. Okay, Capricorn, May, June. Capricorn, May, June. Okay. There's a lot of inner child work coming up over this spring. A lot of connection with the inner child. Okay, now there's 4. Can you see that one? Not really. I'll move my water. Okay. First thing out, this is telling me female ascended masters. Okay. The number 13 is female ascended masters. And so if you're being called to work with any female ascended masters, take a look at some of them are, and they may jump out with you. Or if you have one in particular, it's time to start working with her. Okay, 26 and 26. Same number. The Witch's Brew and Great Big Love. Passion. The word that's coming up is passion. What are you passionate about? And seek alternative solutions. That's perfect. Great Big Love. What are you passionate about? What makes your heart happy? And that's what they're asking you to follow. We talked a little bit about connecting with yourself. And as you work through whatever situation you're dealing with or any new situation that comes up, they're asking you to focus on what you are passionate about, what you love, because that's your direction. And your voice. Who you are deep inside. Who is the authentic you? That is who you're asking to connect with this spring. Who you are intrinsically, deep within, at a soul level. You have these expectations for yourself. You've created these expectations based on society, based on family, based on the things that have happened to you through your life, traumas, everything else. You have these expectations for yourself, but they don't exactly, they're not aligning with your soul. And so you're being asked to take a look at who you are at a soul level. Often it's that little inner child inside of you The inner child is a piece of the soul that wanted to come here and play and laugh and learn and have a joyous life. But through trauma, the ego has taken over. And the ego is who we need to, the ego has a purpose. The ego keeps us safe. But we need to break free of the ego to live our most authentic life. And even this card right over here said, transcending the ego. Okay? So what is the inner child within you telling you? What are the desires of the inner child? What does the inner child love? That's where you're going to get or find your most authentic self, is by getting in touch with your inner child. You have some very powerful energies, and you have some magic in your past. There's the world is kind of like a matrix, if you've ever seen that movie. It's not real. What we see is not real. What we see is a projection of our thoughts, our patterns, our programmings. Once you can break free of your programming, you begin to see the world as it truly is, and that is an absolute creation of you. If you've ever gone down the rabbit hole of quantum physics, then you'll understand. Well, okay, we're already at 20 minutes, so I'm going to do one last card, and this is from my own deck. It's a digital deck, and I will leave the link to, so you can download it below. So let's go one card for Capricorn for spring. Release. Let go. Release and let go of anything that's troubling you. Let go. We talked in that ceremony. It's time to let go of your expectations. It's time to let go of others' expectations of you. It's time to let go of your perceptions of the world. You have a very strong connection with spirit. You have a very powerful purpose. I want to say it's connected to the angels and the divine. And you need to let go of all these other expectations and human perspectives, and more strongly connect with your divine connection and your divine purpose. You are a powerful being. You're a powerful manifester, and you have a very, very important purpose in our world as the world ascends. And you're being called toward that path. So I will leave this here, Capricorn. I hope you have a beautiful spring, and I'm sending lots of love, and I will see you back here soon for another reading.